The usual suspects in sports media are all aflutter. They're up in arms. They're up in arms because the white heterosexual girl, Caitlin Clark, got herself an 8-figure Nike deal, and that's a big deal in the basketball community. See, in the basketball community, well, you kind of judge your success on your shoe deal. It is literally idiotic. But that's the world that we live in. Man, I got to get them shoes. Well, Nikola Jokic is the MVP of the league. He's the best player in the world. He's been the best player of the world for the last few years. You know who he has a shoe deal with? I'm going to tell you here in a minute. You won't believe it. I didn't believe it because I don't know. But anyway, heterosexual white girl, Caitlin Clark, well, she's the first person. No, she's not. She has a shoe deal, and the brothers and sisters of the basketball world don't like it. They don't like it. They're mad. The writers don't like it. Mike Freeman, whoever he is, he don't like it. He writes for USA Today. He don't like it. Why? Well, because it's a white girl. See, since 1995 to 2011, every shoe deal in the WNBA has gone to an African-American woman, and rightfully so. They're the stars. But now, heterosexual white girl gets a shoe deal, and everybody loses their mind. It's a big-time shoe deal, too, rumored to be about $28 million. That's pretty good. Well, hard work does pay off. And Nike has always been the one company that everybody can agree or to disagree on. People love them, people hate them, people wear them. They're iconic, they're not, they're overused, they're trash, whatever you want to say. But they are, I don't know, at least to me, the only company that was still standing by Colin Kaepernick when he made his deal known about kneeling for the flag. Kaepernick lost a ton of money. Nike stood up and stood by and made commercials. Nike actually, behind the scenes, tried to get Kaepernick on an NFL team. That's right. So you can say whatever you want about a lot of different companies, I suppose, and people do, but not Nike. Nike took on Michael Jordan before Michael Jordan was Michael Jordan. Nike said, to heck with Jokic, we want Wembayana. Now, why is that? Was that due to race? Of course that wasn't due to race. It was called marketability. Who is going to sell more shoes? You got 2 Euros, right? You got Jokic and you got Wembayama. And I got to tell you, if I had to make the choice, as much as I love my Serbian brother, I'm going with Wembayana. Wembayana is going to sell shoes from now until the end of time. He's going to be Michael Jordan-esque. Jokic, maybe not so much, and we'll get into his big old brothers in a minute. But anyway, it's a business decision. I need to sell shoes. My name is Nike. While I'm selling shoes, I want to be not only fashion forward, but I want to be at the pinnacle. I want to be at the pinnacle of political activism. Hey, that's just the way the world works. And I got to tell you, sometimes, though, Nike just says, I want to jump on the hottest train. And the hottest train right now is Caitlin Clark, and it makes sense. And all the little clowns that are mad about it, well, you're proving once again why you are clowns. Jokic has been the best player in the NBA for 3 seasons. As supported by his soon-to-be 3rd MVP in that period. Now, it's not 1, not 2. That'll be 3. This is Bobby Barack, who's going to join us in a minute. He's a reigning NBA Finals MVP. I want you to think about that for just a second. Jokic is rewriting the regular season and the playoff record books yet. Until this past December, Jokic was the only MVP of the NBA since Kobe Bryant in 2008 not to have his own signature shoe. That's racism. No, it's not. I understand it. I do. I understand it. You're Nike, man. You're trying to reach kids. You're trying to reach kids globally. Hey, you may reach kids globally over in Europe, in Serbia, or wherever the hell, but you're not reaching them like Wembayana is. You're not reaching them like Caitlin Clark is. You're not. Thus, no shoe deal. I'm guessing Jokic could have had a shoe deal, but I don't think Jokic was going to have a signature shoe. It wouldn't have sold. You know, it's not automatic people's shoes sell. Paul George tried like hell. His shoe was the worst made shoe in the history of footwear, and his didn't sell. Kevin Durant's, who cares? The only one that really mattered, I guess, is Michael Jordan, maybe some Kobe's. Everyone else is crap. I know that Sabrina lady over in the WNBA, her shoes are pretty good, so people wear them. But let's be honest, if it ain't Michael Jordan's, it's pretty much crap. Wembayana is the next big thing, certainly more so than Jokic, regardless of the results on the court, although Wembayana is going to be the MVP of the league probably within 2 years, and he's Rookie of the Year this year. According to reports, Nike had no plans to build a shoe around Jokic, instead focusing on rookie Victor Wembanyama, the face of the brand's new Air Immersion Space sneakers. And I get it. I do. Look, I'm not some idiot like, Mike Freeman and others. I understand it's about selling the goods. Jokic ultimately had to settle for a deal with a Chinese company, 361 Degrees, a brand that can hardly keep pace with Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour. No, it cannot hardly keep pace. It has no chance of keeping pace. Now, you're hoping some Serbian kids running around playing basketball in Belgrade and other places are wearing the shoes. You're hoping that the brand grows, but the real money, obviously, is at Nike. Michael Jordan made billions, not only for himself, but for Nike. And Nike didn't have any leverage with Michael Jordan, as Michael Jordan's Air Jordan brand became its own brand. I mean, that's how smart they were with Michael Jordan, who, by the way, is black. I know, we're not supposed to say that, but he is. I'm telling you. And the idea that Nike, of all people, of all businesses, is considered racist by dumbasses just shows once again that they are dumbasses, period. Now, having said that, let's go to Wembanyama. Wembanyama has a game that is, I think, different than any I've ever seen. Like, I saw Ralph Sampson. He was really good, but Wembanyama's Ralph Sampson part 2. Wembanyama's going to have to get on a good team, and right now, any team coached by Greg Popovich that doesn't have Ginobili or Robinson or Duncan on it, it hadn't been any good. It doesn't matter the market either. Let me straighten that out. When's the last time, seriously think about this, when's the last time that anybody from New York City, outside of Derek Jeter, I'm talking about in the basketball space, when's the last time they made any money selling something? Peyton Manning, where's he from? Here. Now, you could say Eli, but Eli didn't do jack until after his career was over and he teamed up with Peyton. Yeah, I'm just saying. LeBron James played in Cleveland, for crying out loud. Yeah, I'm just saying. So we'll see what happens. This is the dumbest conversation ever. This is beneath anybody, anytime, anywhere. It is. It's just stupid. But it's ran by stupid people. Mike Freeman and others. It's racist. We don't want little white heterosexual girl to have any power. Well, tough. You know what? Tough. The little white girl and the big fat white guy have a lot of power right now in the basketball space, and it's making the brothers crazy. I don't understand it. I don't know why we just can't enjoy basketball regardless if it's a white guy, Larry Bird, or Jokic, a white girl. Doesn't matter. Why? Why do we have to make this about race? Why does this offend so many in the African-American media? I'll tell you why. Because guys like Mike Freeman are trying to get down. They're trying to get down with players. They're trying to get in the club. They're trying to get in with the rappers. They're trying to get in with the scene. Everybody knows this. This isn't just me saying it. People that cover sports, particularly in the NBA, that's what they're trying to do. See, in the NBA, the white guys are scared to death because if they say anything even remotely negative, they get labeled as racist. The white media is scared out of its mind. Black media wants to be part of the scene. They want to hang with Drake. They want to hang with the rappers. That's what they do. It's just the way the world works. It's not racism. It's just a fact, and I've been told this by both white and black NBA media members. So there you go. Look, I simply say, Nike, sell your damn shoes. Wembanyama, you are the future star. Jokic, maybe you can make a brand better. But it's a dumb conversation. I just want to see how they do on the court. And last night, the Pacers got down. You give 18 to 23-year-olds power, then they become philosophers. My wife and I were at my my wife's daughter, graduation at Harvard. So the day before, it's kind of a 2-day graduation. The day before, they have speakers. It's more quaint. It's just kind of in a little courtyard area. And they introduced this guy. He's 21 years old. And they introduced him as a thinker. He's an intellectual. He's a thinker. And this guy got up there and gave a speech that a 5-year-old could give. But he was considered a thinker because, he's 18 to 23 years old. I mean, he goes against the grain. He's a thinker. Well, Shedeur and Shiloh Sanders are now thinkers. The team that lost like 7 in a row is still out there, and we're still talking about them, and they're not happy. They took to the internet to defend their program, and good for them, because there have been a lot of transfers from Deion Sanders' program, their daddy. Now, last week, Deion Sanders shredded the media over their understanding of the transfer portal. Okay, Deion, nobody understands it but you. You got into college football for a couple years, and you're the grand poobah of transfer portal. Guys and gals that have been following this for years and years and years don't understand. Only you in your magnificence understands. What a load of crap. I like what Shiloh Sanders said about his program. If you're good, you're going to play. A lot of people talk about favoritism stuff, but I've seen that at other schools that actually might be like that. Really? What schools have you seen that at? You've been at 2 schools. Both times you're playing for your daddy. Now, no one's going to question old Shiloh or whatever the hell his name is because, well, you know what? He's Deion Sanders' son. We can't question him, but what schools have you seen that at? You haven't seen jack squat. Now, cut out the bullshit. That's what people do. People always say, well, it's like that at other places. Okay, what other places? What have you seen? What other places has the daddy been the coach and said about his 2 sons and Travis Hunter, we're going to only play in certain spots. These are my kids. Nobody. Not one other school. You can't name it because it doesn't exist. But you say it because that gives you clearance. It gives you clearance. Like, I'm no fool. I actually pay attention. I actually read. I actually listen when I do interviews. Unlike 98% of other media folk that can't wait to hear themselves talk. I pay attention. I've seen that at other schools that actually might be like that, talking about favoritism. Yeah, which ones? It'd be interesting, but the media is afraid. Again, same thing with Deion Sanders and his program. White media is scared to death. You criticize losing 8 in a row or whatever the hell they did, and you're a racist. Black media wants to be down with Deion. I get it. It's all good. Anyway, so no one's going to ask this kid that question because he's full of shit. But anyway, I promise you, if you're good, you're going to play. You'll have more of an opportunity here to legit actually display your skills. Yeah, maybe, but why more? I mean, really, at any place, if you're good, you play. I mean, one thing about coaches understand, and they're right about this, they can't make this kind of money doing anything else. There ain't a coach alive. I don't give a damn. I heard Mike Krzyzewski give a motivational speech one time, and it was garbage. He was paid like $50,000. If Mike Krzyzewski didn't have Duke behind him, and he's tried to give a motivational speech as some guy that was pretty successful in business, not one person would pay attention to it. But sports puts you on a different level. Sports gives everybody around you, man, I want to be like that. Wow, it's sports. It is. I'm telling you. But honest to God, I've heard these guys give talks, and if you actually listen and don't get starstruck, they're complete idiots. I'm telling you they are. But anyway, so coaches understand. I need to win because I ain't making this kind of money anywhere else. Why do you think guys were cheating? Why do you think Harbaugh had to resort to cheating? Because if he lost again to Ohio State, he's going to be out of a job, and the NFL was not coming a calling. Jim Harbaugh was, well, he had his salary reduced. He had all of his ads that he was doing taken away, except for one where don't turn your water on when you're brushing your teeth. Oh, okay. So Harbaugh decided to cheat. Duh. Then he started winning. Coaches just want to win. So I don't know if old Shiloh, if Colorado is any different than any other place, except if you're a quarterback, you got no shot of playing. If you're a cornerback, you got no shot of playing because the coach's kids are there. Here's Shedeur. If you're not playing here, that just means you're doing something wrong. If you're not playing here, that means you're doing something, not listening to the coaches or something. Not everyone sees behind the scenes in practice, and we know who these guys really are. That is really true. Now, that is really true. That's 100% true. I've always said this. There's two sides to this. Guy quits, media says, oh, it's the coach. Oh, wait a second here. You know, the 5-star cornerback that just quit, hell, his own high school coach said he didn't want to do anything other than the baseline. He didn't want to work extra, so Deion Sanders didn't play him. That I can get down with big time. Not everyone sees behind the scenes in practice. We know who these guys are. They might get on Instagram or Twitter or say something, but it's not like you're even doing anything, bro. Meaning it's not like you're in there working extra. It's not like you're getting things done. Y'all don't know what's going on at practice every day because you just see highlight plays here and there, but we practice every day almost. We know who is who, and if somebody was done wrong, we would know that. Boy, that is true. That is really true. Now, the people that get done wrong 9 out of 10 times are the coaches. 9 out of 10 times you've poured your heart and soul into a player, and because he gets a better deal somewhere else, he leaves, and he takes a deal. And then he rips the previous staff. I had that. I had a kid who was a drunk. He was a drunk. Came to practice fat, hungover. He quit, went on the news, and said, hey, Dakich a bad guy. Now he's becoming a top college basketball ref, and I get a kick out of it. I get a kick out of him. I'll never forget, first time ever, I'm smelling booze on a player. I'm like, what are you doing? I'll get help, but what the hell are you doing? I tried to get him help. He's also the guy, I was playing golf with my son on Father's Day, and I had a chance to shoot 69 for the first time in my life. I get a call, Coach, you got to help me. I got a family problem. Took my son home. We left the course, met with him. Ultimately, players are going to screw you. They're going to screw you big. And then they're going to talk about it like there's something, particularly with Instagram and Twitter. When I heard that kid, and we played his tape the other day, that left Colorado and was complaining about, well, I don't want to play for Click. He's full of crap. Particularly when your high school coach comes out and says, yeah, he didn't want to do nothing. I'm all in on what Shedeur Sanders says here. I am. But I'm also knowing, man, there's some nepotism going on there, and I guarantee you there are some players that are kind of tired of it. I guarantee it. But, hey, that's every program. Every program has guys that are tired of it. I don't know. It's just fascinating to me to watch what's going on here. I got to believe Colorado's going to be pretty good. I got to believe, I haven't looked at their schedule, but they're scheduling themselves a bunch of wins. I mean, by the end of the year last year, nobody really cared about Colorado. Why? Because they were losing. Nobody really cared about Shedeur Sanders. Why? Because he was getting his ass kicked. His offensive line was horrible. We'll see what happens. Speaking of Deion, well, of course, he's got all the answers. Deion's pissed. Let's hear from Deion. He's pissed at the media.
You're losing some guys to the portal. What are you looking forward to reestablish? What position groups are you hunting in the transfer portal?
I wish you guys do a little more homework when you start talking about the portal and understand what we're losing. What are we losing? I got time today. What are we losing?
Potential starters and
Potential.
depth.
Where?
Tight end, running back.
You haven't been watching practice, huh? Amen. We're good. We're good. I trust the recruiting team. I trust our coaches. And please have some faith in me. We're good. We all right. We all right. What happens with the portal, man, and you guys need to know, a lot of people are fighting for backups. When a guy's a starter and he transfers, you got to really think about that. I mean, is he really that? I don't know how many starters have really transferred around the country. I think we got some coming in from visits pretty soon, maybe even this weekend. But we can attract those type of players, but I don't think we're losing those type of players. And if we do, we're good. We're good. Quit making a big deal out of nothing.
Hi, Coach. Adam,
God, I want to say so much stuff, but I can't. God, I want to say so much stuff. I keep remembering my head coach. Let's go.
Yeah, what he wants to say is that the players that they lost are pains in the ass. What he wants to say is the players that they lost have no bearing on their team. I guarantee you that's what he wants to say. I guarantee you that he's saying the players that we lost failed drug tests or did something stupid. That's what he wants to say, because that's what every coach wants to say. Every coach has to sit here and listen to some little lady or some little guy reporter who doesn't know his ass from third base, but reads a Rivals.com thing that says Slappy Johnny is a 4-star recruit and he's going to go to Colorado and start immediately. Oh, okay. Except that Slappy Johnny comes in there and acts like a jackass. There was a kid that came into Indiana named Tamar Bates. Tamar Bates was a highly recruited player that came to Indiana, and they showed video of him coming in. And when he came in, players were working out in the weight room. And this clown acted like he owned the joint. This clown walked in there like he was the mayor of the place. Hadn't worked out, hadn't done nothing. And I said on my radio show, this guy got no chance. None whatsoever. He'll learn, but he's going to learn somewhere else. And guess what? The guy was terrible at Indiana. He's gone to Missouri. He plays at Missouri, put up some numbers at Missouri, but guess what? Missouri hasn't won a single game. Not one. Didn't win a single game in the SEC last year. Not one. 0, zip, nada. And that's what happens. And that's what coaches want to do. That's exactly what Deion Sanders wants to do. He wants to say, all right, who exactly has transferred? I mean, I'll hang up and listen. Who's transferred that's any good? Dylan Edwards is transferred, a running back. Oh, okay. I always say, man, I wonder what Dylan Edwards did in the background. He was a team's leading rusher. He started the first 4 games. But every bad team has a leading rusher. You know what Dylan Edwards ran for? 321 yards. That was the leading rusher. That's it. And this is a guy that committed to play for both Kansas State and Notre Dame coming out of high school. How about that? So I'm going to commit to Kansas State, and I'm going to come out, and I'm going to commit to Notre Dame. But nobody's going to criticize that because, again, white media is scared to death, black media trying to get down with the system. Now, it also comes, this kid Dylan Edwards, came after a pretty good running back named Hayden from Ohio State transferred in. So it's no surprise, and Danny Hurley told you this on our show, I don't want guys that are at 5 different high schools. I don't want guys that are doing, 3 different prep schools. I don't want guys, he didn't say this, I'll say it for him, that are stupid enough to commit to 2 different schools at the same time. How about that? So Deion Sanders appeases everybody by saying, we good. Well, are you really? I mean, you're good with what you're saying. You are. Because I get what you're saying. You're absolutely right. 100% right. There's so much guys could say. You could bring out a list because, coaches, we all documented that. I did. I don't know if everybody else does. You know, you got, hey, look, he missed class 16 times. He failed a drug test, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's what you do. And then you say, all right, you'd love to present that to the media. Why do I worry about a guy that's got all this? Well, because Rivals said he's a 5-star. Oh, you're an idiot. Deion Sanders, 1,000% right in this time. 100, a bazillion percent. But are we good? Ooh, I don't know. I mean, you're going to have to win some football games, aren't you? I mean, at some point, all the nonsense is going to wear off. What's the nonsense? Well, it did wear off last year. The nonsense of be good. The nonsense of it's all about my kids. The nonsense of losing games. At some point, that's got to go away, and you're going to have to win games. A lot of coaches in this day and age are judged not only too quickly, but judged harshly too quickly. And Deion Sanders, in his second year, make no mistake, That first year went great for a minute, and by the end of it, it was no good. They were getting beat. Now, they did fight back in a couple games. Good for them. But he's going to have to win at some point. And that point, I think, is coming up here. Because by all accounts, he's telling everybody his quarterback, his son, is the best quarterback in college football. He might be right. But if he is, you're going to have to win. And you're going to have to win big. I just can't stand when people backtrack from comments that they know to be true. You know, Stephen A. Smith, a couple days ago, came out in support of Donald Trump. He basically said, look, Donald Trump is facing what African Americans has faced in these bogus trials. Made up charges, trumped up prosecutors, jacked up lawyers, full of shit judges. I mean, he said basically that. The NAACP came at him. I'm sure PR people came at him. I'm sure the African American community PR people came at him. And he had a backtrack. Let's hear from Stephen A. Smith.
I'm fully aware that I've been in the news over the last few days, paraded all over social media as well, after comments I made during my appearance on Fox News' Hannity last week with the one and only Sean Hannity himself. And I'm fully aware of the outcry that has ensued because of it. A lot of folks in Black America seem pretty pissed at me right now, from friends and loved ones to colleagues, contemporaries, and dare I say even the NAACP itself. Quite a few folks were put off, if not flat out offended, after my words were interpreted as associating support for Trump from the Black community with all the legal issues he's facing. For that, I sincerely apologize. To be clear, my words were misconstrued. I'm stating right here for the record that my words were taken out of context, misrepresenting and depicting me in a way I found every bit as insulting and disrespectful as folks in Black America evidently felt about what they thought I said. But I'll own it anyway. Because you know, please know that I know the buck stops with me.
What a bunch of bullshit. Oh, man, you got to give Stephen A. credit, man. He knows his audience. He knows talking that tone, the buck stops with me, throw a bunch of bullshit out, and next thing, okay, so what'd you actually mean? All right, what did you actually mean? I mean, you're saying it misconstrued. What did you actually mean? I mean, I don't know. If you said, as much as people may have been abhorred by Donald Trump's statement weeks ago talking about how black folks, he's hearing that black folks find him relatable because of what he is going through is similar to what Black Americans have gone through. He wasn't lying. He was telling the truth. When you see the law enforcement, court system, and everything else being exercised against them, it is something that black folks throughout this nation can relate to with some of our historic, iconic figures. We've seen that happen throughout society. That's what you said. So how is that misconstrued? I mean, the NAACP, relatable? Show of hands, anyone in your black family have 88 felony charges pending, filed for bankruptcy 6 times, made an attempt to well, they're full of shit here. Yeah, honest to God. So what'd you mean? He just talks. He gives you that Camilla Harris, I'm serious, I'm going to act angry word salad, and the buck stops here. I'm a victim here. You're not a victim. He said what he said. Okay, I simply asked, what did you mean? Not a tough question. What did you mean when you said Donald Trump was relatable? I mean, you didn't really apologize. You said you own it or whatever. Can you play that again? Can you guys play that again for me real quick?
I'm fully aware that I've been in the news over the last few days, paraded all over social media as well,
I'm a victim
after
here.
comments I made during my appearance on Fox News' Hannity last week with the one and only Sean Hannity himself. And I'm fully aware of the outcry that has ensued because of it. A lot of folks in Black America seem pretty pissed at me right now, from friends and loved ones to colleagues, contemporaries, and
Oh,
dare I say
everybody's
even the NAACP itself.
Dare you say it.
Quite a few folks were put off, if not flat out offended, after my words were interpreted as associating support for Trump from the black community with all the legal issues he's facing. For that, I sincerely apologize. To be clear, my words were misconstrued. I'm stating
How so?
right here for the record that my words were taken out of context, misrepresenting and depicting me in a way I found every bit as insulting and disrespectful as folks in Black America evidently felt about what they thought I said. But I'll own it anyway.
Oh,
because
what
you know,
a great man.
Please know that I know
Man.
the buck stops
You know
with me.
that I know. Yeah, it does. So what'd you mean? I mean, the word, just like Charles Barkley saying he got misquoted in his own book. I mean, what'd you mean? What did you mean, Stephen A. Smith, when you said, as much as people may have been abhorred, loved Stephen A. Smith, by Donald Trump's statement, talking about how black folks, he's hearing from black folks, he's hearing that black folks find him relatable because of what he's going through is similar to what black Americans have gone through. He wasn't lying. Well, he wasn't lying. So you're saying he is relatable. You're saying he is going through what black folks are going through. Then he adds he was telling the truth. So what's misconstrued about that? You know, nobody's going to say what I'm saying right here. Nobody is. But I would argue what's misconstrued. I'm genuinely curious. What is misconstrued when you say he was telling the truth? Then he adds, when you see the law enforcement and court system and everything else being exercised against him, it is something that black folks throughout this nation can relate to. So what do you, what? You just, but he throws out these words, acts as a victim, and basically everybody else genuflects as some clown on TV. And that's it. Black folks throughout this nation can relate to with some of our historic, iconic figures. We've seen that happen throughout society. All right. What'd you mean? You didn't mean he's relatable? Well, you said it. You're not apologizing for what you're saying. It's misconstrued. Okay. Yeah, it's amazing. It is literally amazing where ESPN has gone with this. ESPN is the wild, wild west. I mean, guys can come on there and BS and act stupid and say dumb things and then make up a ridiculous excuse for it. As long as you play the victim. Well, as long as you're not a middle-aged white guy either. But as long as you play the victim. I've been dragged through social media. Oh, really? Oh, no fault of your own. It's everybody else's fault. I'm surprised he didn't mention the white media. It's not his fault. It can't be Stephen A. Smith's fault. It can't be the words that he actually said, which I'm reading from the Charlotte Observer. It can't be that. I was misconstrued. But make no mistake, I'm brave. I am brave, damn it. And the buck stops here because I'm a victim, but I'm brave and I'm tough and I'm standing up. What a load of shit. You just got fed a load of complete shit. I don't care what he said. It doesn't matter to me whether the black community's mad at Stephen A. Smith, the white community's with Stephen A. Smith. It doesn't matter to me whether Stephen A. Smith says that Donald Trump is relatable, not relatable, Dan Dakich is a jerk, as good, as bad, whatever. It does not matter to me. But you just kind of get tired of the bullshit. You do. I mean, let's be honest. You just kind of do. You kind of get tired of the victimhood. You get tired of I'm a hero for standing up to victimhood. Nobody created this but you. And then others saw it, called you out on it, and then you folded like a wimp. You folded up shop. That's all. Nobody from ESPN told you to apologize. You saw a little criticism. You had to figure out how to dig yourself out. You went victim, and then you went hero. That's smart. It's a lesson for every single person out there that has the media completely in pocket and afraid of you. Go victim, and then go hero. No, that's a good move. It's a really good move. It's a funny move. It's a fun move. It's a ridiculous move, but it's the kind of move that we are in our world. Tom Brady's mad at young people. Tom Brady sees selfishness. Tom Brady sees selfish athletes, and he ain't happy about it. He ain't happy about it all. Let's hear from the great one.
That's the biggest problem with a lot of kids these days. It's all about them. It's all about them, their brand, their social media. And then when it's about me and then not about us, well, there's no way to succeed as a team if all you're doing is thinking about how selfish it is for you to get the attention.
Yeah, I mean, he's not wrong. I mean, all you got to do is look at the antithesis of that is Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce just took a very team-friendly $14 million deal, but how many are doing that? How many are going out and getting that bag? I'm going to go get that bag, yo. Hey, I don't blame you for going to get that bag, but when you get the bag, you got to work harder. When you get the bag, you got to win. You got to put your team in a position because of you to win. But so many right now, they go get the bag, they jump on social media, and they act like they've done something. Look, winning and championships last forever. I'm sorry, it just does. It lasts forever. The bag, 52% of it's taken away before you even see it. You're going to screw it up most times. You're going to do something stupid. 75%, I believe it's of NFL players are bankrupt or go broke or lose their money. I mean, chances are you're going to screw that up, so you might as well get the bag, give it to somebody else to invest, and next thing you know, win a few championships and the bag stays. Travis Kelce's smart. Tom Brady always took less money. I think Patrick Mahomes has taken less money over the years. They make them friendly for the team because they understand, man, how much can you really spend? I know we all want a lot and we want more and more and more, but how much can you really spend? And championships, damn, those bad boys are forever and ever and ever. Make no mistake. Brady's right. Guy jumps on social media. Guy becomes a social media hero. We've had those at Indiana basketball. Team hadn't won squat. Nothing. Zip. Zero. We had a guy that actually, for the NCAA tournament, a guy named Miller Kopp, decided I'm putting a headband on because that's going to be my look for this game. Look for the game? How about the look for the game, winning the game? Well, Indiana got its ass beaten. Everybody forgot about Miller Kopp. Win some games. Tom Brady's not wrong. Win some games. That'll help your brand more than anything you're going to do on Instagram or any little dance you're going to do or any little incoherent post. Win some damn games.